Ahoy, we are back, off the burning of Norfolk. Back for another naval engagement. And the fleet has expanded. We now have the frigate, USS Freedom. The USS Fidelity was given to us as a 44-gun frigate. We have our corvette squad, the Constitution, Courageous and Calamity. We got rid of the brigs, Vengeance, Valor and Victory. And now we have the USS Fury as well, which was captured in the last naval engagement. I haven't bought on the HMS Fury. We'll save that until we have more reputation. But now we have a very powerful frigate squad. And this is what we're going to need for the Battle of Yarmouth. Sunday the 28th of April, 1776. We have received reports that the British Navy has repositioned a man of war off the coast of Nova Scotia. We've been ordered to make all possible speed to engage the man of war. If we strangle Nova Scotia, we strangle Loyalist supply at the source. Sink, capture or disable this ship, Captain, and we will reward you handsomely. Now when it says man of war, I hope it doesn't mean like a third rate. Because that would be hard, and we don't... Oh. We're going to have to bring everybody. So the Calamity... The Courageous will have to come by herself. She's faster. She's the faster corvette. The two slower Cerberuses will be by themselves. And then we have our frigate squad. Two 40-gun frigates and a 44-gunner. We are searching for the British man of war for a second week. And suddenly we see sails on the horizon. Sailing closer, we found our old acquaintance, the armed merchantman, Minerva. Looks like things are grim. Uh-oh. Minerva, she helped us win a pivotal battle, which I don't think the brig squad could have done by themselves. So we owe it to Minerva. We better get out underway. Now, USS Fidelity is different. I don't know how the Unity class sails. 10 knots running speed, whereas our other class of frigates have a 13 knot running speed. So we've broken her away. We have the benefit of the wind if we stay on this side for range gunnery. And Minerva's got pretty powerful guns, so she'll be safe for a little while. At the moment she is surrendered, so hopefully they don't send a boat over. Yeah, Fidelity's a little bit slower, which is not ideal, but she has more guns. Slightly more guns. 10% more guns. Pretty sturdy ship. Can't complain, it was free. But we want the fourth rate, the HMS Fury. That will be rechristened with a different name. F names are for frigates, so that's why we have Freedom, Fury, and Fidelity. Just keeps things easy, so I know at a glance what class of ship it is. It can be hard when the fleet gets massive. Coming up on the starboard side of HMS Newbury, we're coming in nice and close. I think we might just go straight up board. Give her a big blast and then board her. If we can catch her at this speed, it would be nice. We're a bigger ship. And we need the reputation, so this will be a nice easy mission. Where's Milford though? It says capture or destroy HMS Milford. None of those are Milford. Here we go. Coming up nice and close. She'll get to fire the first guns. And they're glancing harmlessly off the side of the frigate. Now it's our turn. Aiming nice and low, trying to traverse those guns, elevation, depression, whatever you want to call it. The wind made us lean, so lots of those shots went high. Something you really have to consider when you're engaging. Like, for long distance, you definitely want them on that side. But for short range, it can be a detriment, especially if you're shooting a smaller ship. You can shoot over the top. Let's try and ram her. Stop her. And we'll shoot her through the bow. And then we'll board her. We're not scared of you. We'll let Minerva just sit there and rest. Yes, those shots are connecting. Significant structural damage. HMS Newbury similarly getting absolutely stomped. There's a big firepower difference once you step up to the 5th rate. That's why they've got the USS designation. I feel like the frigate is the real warship. Below a frigate, you know, multi-purpose ships. Yes, you can put cannons on them, but a lot of the time they saw other uses. Corvettes, you know, they pirate hunters, that sort of stuff, or actual pirate ships. But you saw a frigate, you would want to run because they were generally pretty quick. Policing coastal waters. If you were a smuggler, you would want one, that's for sure. Pretty hardcore smuggler though. We're coming up on the port side of HMS Speedy. She is not fast enough to get away from the Freedom. Freedom catches all. I was discussing in the last naval video that I was probably going to go for a fast fleet, so we're going to experiment with that once the funds allow. We'll make a fleet of fast frigates. Well, yet to be seen whether the Unity will be any good. The Unity class in the USS Fidelity. I believe one other ship did actually carry the name of Fidelity, but it was a mine layer. An Agile class mine layer. USS Fidelity. HMS Speedy has capitulated to the Freedom. Freedom has beaten Monarchy. Minerva is underway. She has lost the front mast. So, already a slow ship, she's not going anywhere quickly. And oh dear. We have the Milford on the horizon. It's a 3rd rate. Oh my gosh. So, collectively, he has more crew than us. Where is the rest of our squadron? We have more reinforcements due. We have our Corvette squadron. But collectively on the field, that guy has nearly the same amount of crew as us. The frigates are capable, but a 3rd rate is like, wow. That's crazy firepower. And now we've got fast ships coming in. Some unrated ships, and looks to be another brig. Alright, Courageous is on the field. We're going to need your courage, that's for sure. I'm worried about Fidelity. She's not very fast. We're going to have to dance around the ship of the line. They can be pretty quick. 10 knot running speed on average. And that's not accounting for the strength of the wind. From memory, because I ran the Arrogante, which was the 3rd rate, and I think that's the same class of ship as what we see with the Milford. And the Arrogante was a fast ship, even fully packed. And I used her like a battering ram. To absorb all the Spanish, and French, and American, everything. So hopefully we can deal with her. What are we going to do? We've got the benefit of the wind, at least. For gunnery, anyway. She's got the wind behind her, and she's at full sail. HMS Newbury is going to fall to the Fury. I know we fought the Fury in the 4th rate, but this name just suited the ship, I feel. She was the one that helped us take down the 4th rate. The former Evadne is now the Fury. She stole the name from the 4th rate. If you defeat them, you can take their name. Freedom's coming around with a shot for starboard guns. I'm not sure that these are even heavy enough at this maximum range. So we just going to have to go for sail damage. The rear guard has joined the battlefield. The Constitution and the Calamity have arrived. They're our slow Cerberus rates. Ah, man. I think the Milford can just run rings around them without even trying. I have put cutting sails on them, but only level 1, so it's only 5% faster ship. And I'm running lower crew than, or just over optimal. Freedom and Fidelity are going to have to start pecking away at the Milford's hull. And she's got quite a large bow gun by the look of it, up on the forecastle. So, yeah, Minerva with her large 10 or 12 pounders, 9 or 12 pounders. I can't remember the size of Indiaman's guns. I really think it really just mattered on the ship. But in game, they seem to have a pretty big punch. They helped us capture a frigate. The Freedom. Oh, we are not doing anything to the Milford. The Milford. What are we going to do about you? Then we also have the fast escort ships. Couple of holes in the sails. Holding fire on the Freedom so we don't shoot Fidelity. I think we might just have to rush her. If we can get 3 ships and just rush her before our escorts get close or into formation. See, Minerva's doing a little bit of damage. Fidelity's about to get caught because the wind is not favourable for that turn. We're going to have to keep running straight. And Fidelity is slower than my other frigates. So she has more firepower, but sometimes firepower's not the be-all and end-all. Especially when you're outmatched. And Minerva, we need to keep the Milford near Minerva. Oh, I see big shots there. Despite having the wind advantage, she's still able to get those big long guns onto us. From memory, because when I had the Arrogante, I just ran stock cannons. We spent so much money on crew and infantry that I didn't have the funds to really experiment with cannon. But from memory, they had a 24-pounder long gun. It's their heaviest gun. And then 12 and 6 or 9-pounder top deck. So she can punch it a long way. And light-hulled ships, she will still penetrate them at long range. She has a biggest dickus. Especially when she's 2 rates higher than what we have. So the Razzie that we have in Harbour, that would be good to fight her directly. But I think what we're going to have to do is to swarm her. So once we have 3 ships in a good position, I'm going to swarm her. I think we're just outside of her short guns range, but the long guns can still get us. And if she turns in any closer, that might be bad news. She's going to full sail, so her range will reduce. Some of those long guns managing to get off. Freedom can come about. Minerva's... Oh, she's just out of punching range of Minerva. The wind's changed to the east. Oh, that's even worse. Now she's got direct guns on us. All guns. Fidelity's taking big hits there. Big hits. That wind change is really unfortunate. The fast escorts aren't so fast. Constitution and Calamity coming up. They're going to be a bit too slow to get to the fight. We're making our move now on the Milford. We're going to try and block her. They're surprisingly maneuverable. They can turn really well, even in a still wind. Or with sails fully trimmed. Alright, let's do it. We don't have enough infantry here, but Courageous is coming up. Good on you, Courageous. You're going to dump your infantry for us. Fidelity's going to go for it, and Freedom needs to be in position. Unfortunately, the wind change has really foiled my plans. I can't get any closer without risking the ship. Fidelity's taking massive damage, but she's making her advance. She's half the crew strength of the Milford. So Freedom needs to get the act together. We're already slightly low on crew from capturing other ships. Courageous is going to have to come in and dump the crew. The lines are thrown, but we just don't want to board yet. If we board yet, if we board now, we will get squished. So just get into position and lasso her. What Constitution and Courageous, they're just a liability. Sorry, Calamity. Courageous made it to on station. She only had 2 minutes head start, but she's a faster ship. 10 knots at that angle of wind. Freedom's in a position to shoot through the bow. Let's try and take out a mast. Courageous coming up on the port side of Milford. She's only a corvette, a brave corvette, living up to her name. Putting shots into the bow of the Milford. Fidelity lassoing the Milford. Minerva's nowhere near being able to help us. Constitution and Calamity. Yeah, I knew the Cerberus would be a liability. We're going to have to reserve that one for maybe closed waters maps or even just phase them out. We have a couple of big ships now, and if we capture the Milford, the new flagship, things will be peachy. The Continental Navy having a third rate in its first year and a half of existence. The Milford's getting away from us. Fidelity's taken massive damage. And it was all for naught. The upside is she's heading towards Minerva, so if we can swing Minerva around, she can get a couple of those big guns into her. Milford stopped. She's trying to run against the wind, but she doesn't have the sail kit for that. The Freedom's engaged with Marigold. The escorts are here now. It's going to get dicey. We're taking big risks here. Fidelity's at huge risk, but she refuses to give up. She's got her eyes on Milford. She won't give up. The Milford or nothing. Courageous putting in some decent shots there. It looks like they're over-penetrating. The planking on the Milford is starting to be damaged. The 9-pounder guns at that range, managing to get right in. Freedom's got to take on 3 ships by herself. They're leaving Courageous in a predicament. Let's try and swing around. We'll get the boats in the water. Courageous has just got to dump and run. Fidelity's surrendered. As long as we get our boats in first, we can keep the boarding action going before she decides to crew her or scuttle her. So the crew surrendered, so they're not lost. Yes, that's why there's still 260 men left. Get on board. Oh, it's not enough room. This is why it's very dangerous to board a very large ship with a smaller ship. You ideally need 2 5th rates to board a 3rd rate. And I think in the British campaign we used brigs. Lots of brigs. Someone's wounded in the fight. Fortunately not killed. I want to keep my officer corps alive as long as possible. Constitution and Calamity. Ugh. Beggars can't be choosers, but it's clear where my preferences lie. Fast. Oh, Freedom's coming in hot. Ramming HMS Trave. HMS Tireless about to get a similar treatment from the Courageous, who's now running after dumping all of her crew. The Fidelity has surrendered again. We're in big shit if they crew that. Freedom, you just got to go hard. Oh, Fidelity sunk. She's gone. She's lost. And there were no survivors by the look of it. Man, did I miss that? Did all the crew die? Did they fight to the last? Well, Fidelity really, really did live up to their name. The Freedom and the Milford going toe-to-toe. The Milford's crew fighting on to the bitter end. Finally, throwing their flag. There's hardly anyone left alive. It's our bloodiest battle to date, I think. But we now have the Milford, a third rate. Let's get her out of here. She's got no crew on board, and Fidelity is only being propped up by the lines attached to the Milford, I think. Marigold has surrendered. Firepower is too much. Fury! Oh man, I forgot all about that ship, but it's a victory. Oh, we lost a lot. 5 men. Good men and their complement. Rest in peace. But you fought valiantly. Seems we have a never-ending need for reputation. We just got the Navy Good Conduct badge. I think that's our first commendation. So the Freedom, the Fury, the Constitution, and the Courageous. The Calamity didn't do anything. Courageous did. We lost the Fidelity. We've now gained the Milford. We've still got the Fury waiting to join the ranks. We've got the Speedy that we can get rid of. We do not want another Cerberus. And a Porcupine. Marigold. Unfortunately, we're going to have to give those to Admiralty. And I think that'll give us enough to put one of the big ships in the fleet. And it's got to be the Milford. Third rate. Big hitter. Oh, yes. Can't wait to use that one. If you want to see it, make sure you hit subscribe. I'm Commander Tyrael. See you next time.